Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for Steinel DCS Applications for Engineers micro webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to add them to the question window and we will get to them at the end. Our presenters today are General Manager Sean Lafferty and our Sales Operation Manager, Poria Nicknam.
Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. All right, thanks everybody for taking some time out to jump on a webinar here with us. We know over the last year or so, everybody's had far too many webinars, so we'll try to keep it short like we've been doing in our series here of keeping it to 20 minutes. So what we have today is on the DCS. We've done a couple of recent webinars about the DCS for contractors and focus more on installations. We've decided to come back and share some of the application knowledge that we've picked up over the last several months on how to apply the DCS best in certain specific applications. So for those of you who are new to Steinel, we are the Inventors Company. We're very focused on driving innovation and providing value-added features and functions without the additional cost. So just little things, little details in the product and the technology that make it just better than what is out there from the competition. And that usually makes for a smarter solution, easier to install, and higher value to everyone in the value chain. With that, I'll let Poria get going and walk us through some of the insights that we've gained on how to use the DCS in different applications.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we want to mainly talk about how to use DCS and how it can basically cover more fit into most of the applications you may run into. A few things to cover before that is we have a bit of different approach. Our coverage patterns are different. We have more sensitive sensors with more detection zones. So you would be using fewer sensors to cover the same amount of area compared to most competitors. Most of the sensors have the functionality, some basic functionality that is code compliant right out of the box. And you can use our different commissioning apps, whether you have an iOS-based phone or an Android-based phone, to communicate and commission our devices very easily with our free apps. The main topic here is our DCS. This device, it uses a digital bus for communicating with its own sensor switches and photocells. As I said, you can use you have the wireless programming feature. You have some predefined out-of-the-box settings built into it that in some cases you really just need to wire the sensors and the switches up to the DCS and power it on, and it would start functioning. I had a call last week from a job site that they didn't even know they need to commission this because it was working and they just wanted to adjust the time delay on the device. That was all. You can have scenes. You have 3 independent 20 ampere relays that are good for even receptacle control. On the same relay, each one has its own 0 to 10 volt dimming zone. You have the current monitoring function for each relay that we will touch on at the end a little bit. You can have multi-zone daylighting. You can adjust the minimum and maximum dimming levels, partial on, partial off, demand response if that applies to your case, astronomic and holiday time clock, and the wireless BLE mesh interconnectivity between the devices to remove the need to basically wire up all the devices to a central hub or to each other. And also, if you're using the DCS Connect model, you would be able to integrate your lighting control system to the BMS using BACnet over IP. Here's a quick view of the device. As you can see, or you probably have seen already, the main thing that that comes to mind here to mention is the 3 manual override buttons that you see as number 3, and then the ease of wiring for the low voltage wires, that there are no special connectors, there is no crimping of RJ45 wires, plugs or anything. You just put the 18 gauge wire into the outlet into the connectors, and you're good to go. Then you're probably already familiar with our Control Pro range, but now you have the same sensors with the same capabilities in the digital version that communicates with the DCS, and so you would have all those functionality plus more when you use the digital version. And we want to introduce the two new sensors, IR Quattro Slim XS DCS and IR Quattro Micro. They are very low profile sensors that can be used in a small office and in small areas and barely visible or draw any attention to them that you have a sensor. We have our indoor photo sensor that has an open loop and a closed loop function for daylight harvesting, and our glass wall switches that come in 10 different varieties. Here's a brief overview of IR Quattro Slim and IR Quattro Micro. As you can see, despite their very small size and slim profile, they still have quite a number of switching zones and provide you with a very good coverage pattern of about 20 feet. So that should be more than enough for most small offices. And you still have some basic photo sensor functionality as well to perhaps do some daylight dimming adjustments using this same sensor without the need for a photocell. The next one is our photo sensor. You have the open loop functionality that goes from 3 to 6,000 foot candle, and the closed loop functionality that goes from 3 to 300 foot candles. You have automatic calibration that adjusts the dimming based on the curve of each fixture, and it's very easy to use. The wiring, as usual, is with the use of the 2-wire bus system, and you can have up to 3 daylight zones for each photo sensor when you use it in the open loop function. And again, the programming is done through the DCS controller. So there is no dedicated programming done for the device. Everything, the whole package gets programmed together. And here's a few of the 10 different models that we have. As you can see, they are very easy to install. Touch sensitive glass that is available in white or black. Black only available in few models at the moment, but you have the single on-off, 1 to 3 on-off zones, 1 to 3 dimming zones, 3 different scene switch models, and one multifunction model called DSSS3 that you have 3 zones and 3 scenes all in one switch. So let's talk about applications. So as you can see here, that these devices are very easy to install, and they have a lot of functionality all in one. So here we have the DCS, we have your occupancy sensor, photo sensor, and a 2-zone switch, plus receptacle control. So overall, all the 3 relays are used for this area, and you can basically meet all the code requirements very easily and with very easy installation. So let's go. And as you can see, this is how the commissioning app looks like. Like I said, very easy, straightforward, occupancy sensors, photo sensors. Obviously, we can go into more detail in other webinars about commissioning. So one of the great applications for our DCS line of products is commercial office spaces. So as you can see here, in commercial office spaces, you usually have the daylight harvesting function, you have big open air office areas, or as you can see in this sample photo, cubicle forms, and sometimes you need time clock functions. So our solution basically covers everything, as you can see in the layout at the bottom, that you have the photo sensor on the left with providing you the daylight harvesting functions. You have 3 sensors to control the open office area, and perhaps even the receptacle control in that open office if the the, the code requirement for your territory asks for it. And also you can use the same DCS for small offices. Perhaps at the bottom you can see that the DCS is used for small offices with the, I believe that symbol is IR Quattro Micro, the very small sensors, because those are very small offices, and you know, we have enough coverage with a small PIR sensor, or a dual tech sensor for bigger areas. And also you can have multiple scenes defined for the big open office area, or perhaps even for the small offices, as you can see. The next application would be for hotels or multifamily units. So in this kind of application, time of day operation is very important, especially in the hallways or in the entrance lobby. You may want to have the lights during normal hours to be at a certain at a higher dimming level or at maximum dimming level, and after hours to be at a lower dimming level. You can take advantage of our corridor specific sensors that have a 65 feet radial coverage to reduce the number of sensors that you're going to use. And also you can use a multi-zone switch at the behind the reception desk or some place like that to control all the lights in one area. And of course, all of this would be enhanced with the use of a BLE mesh network to control all the DCS units in one area, just from a single point. The next application would be restaurants. And this is also quite an interesting application because you're dealing with many lighting zones in a single area, and this would be a perfect case for basically for a BLE mesh network that allows you to have all of your DCS units controlling multiple zones to communicate to each other and be controlled from one point, perhaps from behind the register or the bar. And also, again, time of day function is quite important here. As you can see, instead of using multiple switches on the wall, you just need to use perhaps multiple DCS units to have all the zones covered, and just one scene switch or to basically control all the different zones. And again, you can easily commission all of that and program all of that using the smartphone app. Another interesting function that you may have here, that we have here, that can be very useful is the after hours operation. Can be programmed in as well, that in case they need to go back in after hours and after the time clock has expired, you can just hit the on button on the switch, and then the lights will be on with a 2-hour time delay. So if there is a maintenance or cleaning going on, the lights are not completely off on people. The next application we have, which is quite interesting, would be the exterior lighting. Each DCS comes in with a built-in astronomic time clock, and this comes in very handy because you can put in the device reads in the GPS coordinates of the location it's being programmed in from your phone through the app, and then adjusts the time of day based on the actual location of the device. So all the changes in the dawn and dusk settings based on your location and the daylight zones, all of those would be taken into account. So even during the winter and summer time shifts, those can be incorporated into the DCS. Pretty much removes the need for any outdoor photo sensor. And also because you have 20 ampere relays on the DCS, you can have actually quite big lighting loads on the exterior lighting, and still one device can take care of up to 3 zones of exterior lighting. One of the places that we have been most successful so far at Steinel is classrooms. So using our high-tech IR Quattro HD sensors with a very great coverage and many advanced features combined with DCS and perhaps a photo sensor, you have the ability to have multiple daylighting zones in a classroom and a scene switch and a DCS that controls up to 3 zones. We even have the capability to have correlated color tuning if the fixtures that are being used have a 0 to 10 volt control for their CCT. So that's really the catch there, that it has to be a specific type of sensor for this. But as you can see at the bottom right, one IR Quattro HD sensor can cover most standard size classrooms compared to the requirement for 2 or more sensors from with using other sensors. So you have a great advantage there that you can do almost everything you want with minimum installation, minimum programming, and of course, minimum cost. So these are the main applications that we can use. Of course, there are many more that we can talk about, but in a micro webinar format, these are the most important ones. So if you ever want to do a new design and want to use our DCS, you can always reach us and we can help you out with doing the layout. I'm going to hand over to Sean to cover the rest.
Yeah, thanks, Poria. So yeah, we just wanted to give a flavor of some of the common applications we're seeing and where the strengths of the DCS are really shining the brightest. And as Poria said, if you're interested in a deeper dive on the whole product portfolio and/or a deeper dive on some of these applications, feel free to reach out to us through your rep or RSM, regional sales manager, which you can find at steinel.net. We do provide layout services where we have typically a 48-hour turnaround. If there is an urgent need, we can shift things around a little bit and on occasion get things out same day or next day as well. As well as providing training. So if you'd rather do it yourself, we're more than happy to spend some time on the phone going over with you how to do a specific layout. We provide you with the Bluebeam toolboxes, so you've got all the objects there, and you've got tech support available to you. So we did just want to share with you a little feedback from the market on just how easy our system is to install and commission. This is a little testimonial from one of our contractors basically talking about how simple and straightforward, easy the commissioning was. I think everybody likes to talk about how easy their commissioning is, but this was a pretty substantial project, and the whole thing was done in less than 2 days. So, it was about 50 rooms, 50 room controllers. Just to give you a sense of the scale. And we got the whole thing, installed and commissioning done in less than 2 days. So really a nice win, and great to hear from our contractor that they're happy to endorse this. And with that, I think we're to the end here. So if there aren't any questions, you can reach us for more information at tech@steinel.net. That accesses our team. We access that periodically throughout the day, or you can call the 888 number there. A live human will answer the phone and can help you with layouts and support. Jennifer, any questions for us?
Yes, thanks, Sean. We do have a few. First one, am I reading that correctly? Does the photocell do circadian rhythm CCT?
Not yet. I think it's mostly that that is combined with the time clock.
Yeah. So we do have some limited capability to do circadian rhythm type things using the 0 to 10 volt outputs. And yeah, as Poria mentioned, that's primarily going to be connected to the astronomic time clock. But we can also take photocell input to manage those outputs as well.
Should you eliminate cells for exterior lighting? You can use them to override should a storm roll in during the daylight time and looks like midnight.
Yeah, that's a great question. So theoretically, we can, but to your point, to the point of the question, there are some times throughout the day where, the sky can get a little bit darker than anticipated. So in that case, we do have the inputs. We do have a couple of dry contact inputs where we can take a signal from a exterior photocell. And on our roadmap for later this year, we do intend to launch an exterior photocell to go with the astronomic time clock function. Well, if you do come up with questions after the fact, feel free to reach out to us. Once again, there's the tech@steinel.net and the phone number for technical questions. If you'd like more information, through your regional sales manager or through your local rep, you can find your local rep on steinel.net. Or you can reach out to sales@steinel.net by email, and there's the number. So once again, we really appreciate everybody's time. We're just super excited about the DCS. We're really rolling, and it's picking up steam and momentum in the marketplace. We're getting lots of great experience, and we're just happy you came out to let us share it with you today. So with that, we'll sign off and say, stay safe, everybody. Thank you.